Welcome. Glad you're here. I'm Rihanna Ritter, founder of Feels Whole Coaching. I have a master's in business, a bachelor's in accounting, enrolled agent, a certified change management professional, and a couple other certifications. I did everything I was supposed to live the American dream, and I really believed what I was doing was what I wanted. I checked all the boxes on the success checklist. I am a first generation college graduate. I climbed the corporate ladder to the executive level. I started my own accounting business in 2018. I got married, had kids, bought a house. I also had a bunch of debt, student loan debt, credit card debt, and found myself living paycheck to paycheck, lonely in my house that had my own family in it, had very little patience for my children, was a workaholic, perfectionist, overachiever, really unhappy and really stressed out. And I just could not figure out what was wrong. I followed all the rules. I did all the things that everybody in church and state school told me to do. But my days were a grind. I would spend my evenings drinking wine and watching Netflix, just hoping people would leave me alone, and yet feeling lonely, and yet not getting any time to myself. The entrepreneurial journey is a special one, isn't it? It is so challenging, but if I hadn't done it, I would not have figured out all that I know now. And I would not have gotten to a place where I can go on vacation pretty much as often as I want and unplug from my business without it falling apart. There are 3 things in our lives that we are doing that prevent us from having any freedom. The first is we don't delegate. Why don't we delegate? We have so many reasons why. It's expensive. I can't afford to hire somebody. I could pay for ads and a marketing firm, but I don't know if it's going to work. It could just be a waste of money. Whoever I try to delegate to, it'll take more time to train that person than it does to just do it myself. Nobody cares as much as I do, so nobody will do it as well as I do. Do any of these sound familiar? The funny thing is we know that it's possible because we see people do it all the time. We see all kinds of successful businesses where the owners are not running it and in it day after day. And yet something holds us back. There's something that's telling me I'm different than them. They're better than me in some way. They can do it because of, I don't know, the family they were raised in. They started with money. They are smarter, faster. They have more tools available to them. They're privileged. Any number of reasons that we think that somebody else can do it and we cannot. Well, I can tell you that all of that is fear, and it is absolutely not true. These fears can be alchemized, and you can grow exponentially once you break through these fears. Number 2, not implementing advice and systems. How many of us are paying professionals to provide a service for us, and then they tell us what to do and we don't do it? I'm going to use an accountant as an example. I have clients who need to track their inventory, and I tell them pretty much exactly how to do it, and they don't do it because it feels like it's too much work. There are all kinds of reasons. Oh, I don't have the money to invest in that. I don't believe it's going to work. I don't want to do the work of doing that. And then I provide them with their financials that are just cash basis, and they can't understand why they don't make sense. They know that there's something that just doesn't quite reflect reality, and they're frustrated with me. That's a lot of fun. For me, I hired business coaches and said that I was implementing their advice, but really was too scared. I had a coach that wanted me to raise prices, and I just couldn't quite raise them to the degree that she was recommending I do. And there were all kinds of testimonials and success stories, and there were people within my group coaching that did it and had results. I could see it in front of my face, but I still would not do it. More fear. And those fears can be addressed. Get yourself to a place where you value and implement the advice that you are already paying for, that you are not benefiting from. And the third one goes beyond business. It's our list of have tos. I have to do the laundry right now and fold it and put it away. I have to be the marketer, be the HR person. I have to take my kids and put them in 5 different sports so that they won't turn into drug addicts. I have to have sex with my partner even though I have no desire to do so. When we study economics, we learn that there are no needs. Like anything that there's a substitute for cannot be a need. I believe even like water was said, well, there's a substitute for that. That's extreme. However, of any of the things that I just mentioned, is anybody going to die if any of those things do not get done? So many of these have tos on this list are actually coming from a need for external validation, approval from our families, friends, neighbors. And what is that coming from? Fear. Fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear that people won't like us. In the 6-week Stress Less course, we implement the I Am Whole system. And we look at what your real values are. And we look at that to-do list. And we look at all of these fears that are underlying these decisions that we make that keep shooting us in the foot and keep causing us stress and keep us so overburdened and our time so short that we're barely living. We're really just checking boxes and getting through the day, and we don't even know what happened when the last time we enjoyed even a hike on a day off or even a day off, let alone a vacation. So we take a deep dive into our beliefs and where they may have come from. That way we can alchemize them, reprogram our minds, and start building new habits that actually serve us. And we can dump some of the stuff on the to-do list that really isn't something that deeply meets our real desires. There are a couple ways to find out if the 6-week Stress Less course is for you. You may be a person who can already tell, and you can dive right in. There's a link to sign up. If you have more questions, you can book a free discovery call with me. If you book a call, we'll send you a pre-call video. Once you've watched the pre-call video, we will get a lot more value for you out of your discovery call with me, because we can then dive into the real things, your goals, what's holding you back, and hopefully get you started whether we decide the course is the right fit for you or not. We do have a $100 cancellation fee for no-shows or canceling or rescheduling the call within 24 hours. Looking forward to talking with you.